I hired Foundation Systems to work on my very complex and challenging foundation project. This is a story of how they helped save my holiday. When I bought my house, there were some issues due to settling. However, I did not know the extent until I spoke to experts. One side of the house was dropping about 4 inches, and without structural improvements, the home would continue to settle and potentially have more significant issues like fall apart. The home was built on post and pier, which is totally common, but the soil it was built on was backfill, soft, and leading to the issues that I was seeing. So along with that, there was additional challenges, even just from a scope perspective, which is a steep slope, 30-foot posts on one side, and I was at the end of this really long lane that was hard to traverse when actually bringing equipment down. So overall, it was a pretty tough job. When I reached out to Foundation Systems, Tim, the owner, and Wade, project estimator and project manager, met with me. When they came out, I could tell they were super knowledgeable and had a lot of experience, and they made me comfortable because of it. One of the things that was nice about it was they were super patient with me. I had to make a bunch of changes with the project, and they didn't have a problem coming out a couple times, talking through the changes, and then after every meeting, they gave me a fair quote promptly after. So it was super helpful to help me keep the project moving along. In the end, the project was going to consist of 12 areas where a combination of micropiles and tiebacks would be installed. So along with that, an 18 by 24 by 24 inch concrete cap would be installed on each of the sets of piles with pedestals on top, as well as a supportive CMU wall on one side. So prior to any work though, also part of the contract was I was having Foundation Systems spray Shotcrete on the grade to mitigate the risk of more erosion as the guys worked. As part of this video, I wanted to also show the actual work that Foundation Systems would be doing. This is a graphical video showing the details of a micropile install, similar to what happened on my project. It involves first digging a big hole and then drilling with a 3-inch core that will be injected with grout, and then obviously capped off at the end. So given my job site, this work was pretty challenging for the team. I've had some experience working with contractors before. Even with the signature, I was still apprehensive. It's like, would the team be respectful of my property and my neighbors? Would my place be kept clean? And I have to say, from the beginning, the guys from Foundation Systems were very respectful of not only my property, but also my neighbors. First off, Wade, who is the project manager, was really accommodating when it came to scheduling the project. We had one date set up, but then I found out one of my neighbors had a previous engagement, and with the concrete truck and the Shotcrete on that first day, it would have blocked her in from leaving. So Wade made it super easy, and I really appreciate that. The first part of the project was to prep for the Shotcrete by installing plywood barriers and biosocks to prevent any spillage beyond the job site. Tip: shotcreting on a project with a steep grade and a current structure like mine is a great way to mitigate further erosion while somebody works on your job site. I highly recommend it. Totally glad I did it. And when the day came for the Shotcrete, everybody was on time, which reduced the stress that comes with large jobs like this. Like, is this going to be done on time today? And spoiler alert, it was. Another thing I was also concerned with was about the potential for spills where the pumps and hoses would be. And it was great to see the care the team took by laying plastic under the hoses. From the first day, Galen and Kalai came in to oversee things. These guys are super friendly and professional. They helped set my mind at ease, especially given everything that was being coordinated from day one. All of the trucks, the hoses, the noise, compressors, everything on site could, easily add to stress and make this a super stressful process, especially for a rookie like me. But they helped make everything way easier in terms of lowering my stress levels and getting the job done in a timely manner, as well as totally making the place spotless once it was done. So with the Shotcrete completed, the heavy lifting started. The crew of Galen, Kalai, Marcus, and Maka came in to begin the dig and drilling work. The dig phase was intense. So 12 holes had to be dug out using hand shovels, and then buckets and shot backs were used to clear out the dirt. The hand shovels were almost like a jackhammer of sorts. And then in one case, a super beefy chainsaw was even used to cut through solid rock for one of the locations that had to be excavated. So overall, it was pretty impressive to see all of this happen. In some areas, the guys had to work around the existing structure, which means digging holes in soft dirt in close proximity to the existing post. So some locations were super precarious. The team worked along with JPB, my structural engineer, on any modifications to account for those more challenging areas. I don't think you really understand how hard this job is until you see the micropiles and tiebacks getting drilled. You also really don't understand how this all comes together until you see it done. Otherwise, it just looks like illustrations you saw on the internet. But seeing the process was really cool. It also helped me become an advocate for micropiles. Really seeing the concept of these like 3-inch cores going 9+ feet into the ground, into solid rock, and then having a cap put on makes it clear how these are super beneficial, and I'm really glad I had this done to my house. So with the micropiles done, it was time for the caps and pedestals to be put in place. And this part of the project involved a lot of buckets of concrete to be passed along and poured. The caps were about 24 by 24 by 18 inches. So given the amount of concrete and the steep grade of the hill, there were some additional challenges. The guys used a zip line solution to be more efficient, so it was able to get the concrete from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill with relative ease. At the end of the project, the guys cleaned up the work area. I mean, it was a super thorough cleaning job. My carports never looked cleaner. And in the end, I just want to say thanks to the entire Foundation Systems team for all of the work they did, all of the help. They did an amazing job, and I really appreciate it. And I also hope this video will help you make the right decision, which is go with Foundation Systems. Thank you.